Good morning. I hope everybody's having a great New Year's Eve so far. I'm sure everybody is planning to have some fun a little bit later, and that is great. I am going to wait just a second to see if anybody is able to join us. Join me live this morning, and then I will get started talking about how to adjust our macros, because this is something that everyone will eventually have to do at some point in order to prevent a plateau or address a plateau. So let me just hang tight for a second to see if anybody is able to join me live. Probably going to give it just another minute. Sorry if you're watching the replay, just fast forward. Okay, I'll just go ahead and get started here. And then anyone who joins can just watch the replay. All right, so this is our week 6 training call. I am going to be discussing the why, when, and how to adjust macros. That is our topic of discussion for today. But first, I have a few housekeeping items to go through, and then we'll dive into all of that. First of all, I want to say I am extremely proud of each and every one of you all for making it through the holidays and staying on track and being able to commit to this lifestyle. I know it's been hard over the holidays, especially with all of the events that you have attended and all of the great food and the treats, but I hope that you all have learned a sustainable lifestyle that you can maintain long term, because of the fact that you can balance your treats with this lifestyle. And I hope that you all have learned how to practice progress over perfection and know how to get back on track whenever you derail a little bit. So that is what I hope that you have accomplished over the last 6-7 weeks. First of all, if you are catching the replay, please post your biggest non-scale victory over the last 6 weeks in the comments below. I can't wait to hear from you all, and I want to cheer you guys on through this last week. Let me just say, there is 1 week left of your 6-week program, or 7 weeks, whatever you want to call it, and a lot can happen in the last 7 days. So keep pushing, keep your nutrition tight, stay on course this last week. A lot can happen in a week, especially at the end when you are transitioning into being a fat burner from being a sugar burner. So a lot can still happen. So don't give up. Keep pushing. Keep moving forward. Stay on track this week. I know today is New Year's Eve, and tonight you're probably going to have plans and you're going to go out. Use this as your treat day this week. just get right back on track tomorrow. Extend that fast if you want to today. Drink lots and lots of water. Try to remember that we are just doing things in moderation. And just get right back on track tomorrow. So I'm so proud of each and every one of you all. I have loved getting to know you guys. I have loved hearing your non-scale victories over the last 6 weeks. It's just been great. I want to remind you that it's really important to take those after measurements and after photos and compare those to your beginning photos and measurements, because that is what is important. That is so much more important than the number on the scale. So remember to do that at the end of this week. And that's what you should focus on rather than the number on the scale. Because remember, muscle weighs more than fat, and you're going to build muscle faster than you are going to burn fat. So that number on the scale is not necessarily indicative of your success with this program. It's more about the measurements, and even more so about the before and after pictures and comparing those. You're going to see dramatic changes there, much more so than what the scale tells you. Okay, so let's go over a few housekeeping items really quickly. First of all, I'm going to send out a feedback form. This is just for me to see how I can better serve my clients. I just want to hear from you and how your experience was with the program, and so that I can make changes and become a better coach in the future. So I will give you all the link to that feedback form. I would greatly appreciate it if you guys could fill that out so that I know how I'm doing and I know how you did. And if you want to leave a testimony at the end of the week, that would be so wonderful. I can't wait to hear your results. Okay, so if you know the faster way to fat loss works, you're loving it, you're seeing results, I want you to share that with your friends and family. I want you all to reap the benefits of this incredible momentum that the faster way to fat loss is providing. And I want you all to be able to help support and change people's lives just like I have. So if you want to do that, please feel free to join my affiliate Facebook group. And also I can create a link for you to share with your friends and family so that you can get the $75 referral commission for referring those people to my program. So reach out to me if you need that link. If you want me to set that up for you, I'm happy to do that. And in my affiliate group, I give away some really good prizes. I share tips on how you can share the program and lots of other good, exciting information. So join that group if you want to. I'm going to leave that link in the comments of this as well. Okay, so your next round is actually starting today. Since you have been through one round of the program and you know the ropes and you've been through prep week, you're just going to roll right into week 1 of your follow-up round. So several of you have already registered. I do want to mention that just stay focused on this group, finish up this group first, and then shift your focus to round 2. So I don't want the 2 different groups to overwhelm you. If you want to wait and join the Facebook group for your follow-up round next Monday, that is great. If you haven't already registered, it's a great time to continue the accountability. Most of my clients go through multiple rounds. I highly encourage you to do the same so that you can commit to this lifestyle change and really keep up that momentum and the accountability that you get within the community and have that continued support. So especially now that we are starting a new year, and there's just something about committing to goals and having New Year's resolutions and a fresh start in the new year. So I want to help you continue making progress towards your goals. If you got off track, I want to help you get back on track. So So for you guys, because you are already in the program and you're already familiar with the ins and outs of the program and you don't necessarily need prep week, I will allow you guys to register throughout this week, and then we will get started with your new round on Monday of next week. So you still have time to join. I'm going to close registration soon, but for those of you, since you are returning clients, I will allow you guys to continue registering through the week. So if you have registered and you haven't received information from me regarding your follow-up round, please let me know. Our back office system has been a little bit wacky this weekend. We pretty much broke the internet with all of the registrations coming in, so I'm trying to do my best to keep track of everyone who has registered. So let me know if you haven't received information from me. So with your follow-up round, when you come back as a returning client, you will get a brand new portal. It is a returning client portal. It goes into deeper topics like how to adjust your macros, which we're going to talk about a little bit today, but you're going to get more information there. You'll get a new returning client comprehensive guide. You will get all new workouts. So lots of great information and new information for you in the returning client portal, which I'm super excited about. The Faster Way people, whatever you want to call them, have been working really hard to make some good changes to the portals for the new year. So I'm super pumped about that. So let's dial it in. Let's maximize your results. Let's cement this as a lifestyle change, because really it takes more than just 6 weeks to do that and to really make this a lifestyle. So I would love to have you guys back if you haven't already joined. I know a lot of you have, but if you haven't, there's still time. And Donna has a non-skill victory for me. So she said that her biggest non-skill victory is how much I loved the fasted workouts. Yes, and I bet you thought that would be so hard before joining this program, but you feel so great, actually. I know I love it too, so that's awesome. Good for you, Donna. Okay, so moving on, if you are in round 2 right now or 3, if you have done multiple rounds of the program, you're now, sorry, I'm a little under the weather, eligible for the VIP membership. So we're going to take a deeper dive into different nutritional components, different topics each month, and tomorrow starts a brand new month of VIP. So if you have done multiple rounds of the program and you want to continue to have the accountability and support going forward, I would love for you to join the VIP membership in January. The topic is intention, and what we will be talking about or doing is we will start out the month with a 24-hour fast starting on the 3rd, and then we will do a 10-day detox, which is a whole foods-based detox, so we still eat, but it's going to be a really great way to reset and recharge and start the new year off right. So I'd love to have you guys there. If you need more information about VIP, let me know. I'm happy to send it your way. You're going to have access to some really great mentors who are experts in different fields. So we have a registered dietitian, we have a hormone health expert, a fitness expert. So you can ask upper level questions, dive deeper into your macros, specific recommendations for yourself, etc. And we have some really great trainings throughout the month in there that, just take everything to the next level. So it's a great group. I love it. And you learn so much there. So let me know if you need more information regarding that. All right, so let's talk about adjusting macros. This is something that people don't realize they may need to do at some point, but you will. First of all, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If everything is going smoothly, you're still seeing results, you're still feeling great, just leave it alone. There's no need to adjust anything. But this is how we are going to prevent a plateau or address a plateau if you feel like you're starting to hit one. We're going to modify your macros a little bit. And everybody's going to have to do this at some point. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So I want you to have all the information you need in order to make those changes whenever the time comes. So first I want to mention, after you finish your first round, do not change your weight in MyFitnessPal. Leave that alone. I want you to leave that initial weight as it is, because if you change that, if you log that you have lost 10 pounds, it's going to actually adjust your caloric intake, and I don't want you to actually drop down your macros or your calories. I want you to leave that alone so that it doesn't change that and actually give you less. So let me talk through that a little bit more. If you are still losing weight, if you're still making progress towards your goals, you're feeling good, your clothes are fitting well, all of that is going good in the right direction, just leave everything alone. We're going to roll with that as long as possible. I don't want you to change anything until you go a good solid 2 to 4 weeks with solid effort, solid nutrition, and you're still not seeing any differences. So if you feel like you've hit a plateau after this 6 weeks is up, then it's time to consider making some adjustments to your macros. It's important to know that as our metabolism speeds up and we develop more lean muscle, we're going to need more fuel in order to continue building muscle and continue revving up our thyroid function and continue burning fat. So less is not more when it comes to the faster way to fat loss, unless you're talking about workouts. But if we're talking about macros, less is not more. Now, if you are noticing that you are famished after the end of the day and you have maxed out your macros, or if you are really hungry before you break your fast, then those are really good signs that your metabolism is speeding up and we need to make some adjustments. So this is when we start to really listen to our bodies and try to implement intuitive eating. If you're noticing you're hungrier, that means your metabolism is revved up and you need to eat more. And when it comes time to think about adjusting your macros, I want you to focus on your measurements and your before and after pictures, and I want you to listen to your body. I don't want you to worry about the number on the scale. That's not how we determine if it's time to adjust macros. We're focusing on the measurements. We are really focusing on the before and after pictures. Take those progress pictures. That is a great way to know whether or not you are actually seeing changes, because a lot of times you don't even realize what's happening to your body because you see yourself every day and you just don't realize the changes that are actually being made. So take those pictures and feel free to update those as often as you want, just to see the changes that are being made. All right, so there are a couple of questions I want you to ask yourself before you consider adjusting your macros. So let me talk through those really quickly. The first thing is, like I've mentioned already, have your measurements changed? Are your clothes fitting differently? Are you still making progress? If so, don't change anything. Let's continue on as it is. It takes a solid 6 to 8 weeks for you to notice significant changes in your body, and it takes 12 weeks or longer for anyone else to notice those changes. So if you simply just don't think there's anything happening, just look at those pictures and compare those, and you will probably be shocked. If you go 10 days to 2 weeks and your measurements aren't changing, those pictures don't look any different, then let's talk about adjusting macros. And that is only if the questions I'm asking you moving forward, if you answer those in line with proper practice, then let's change macros. Okay, next question is, are you getting good, consistent, quality sleep? If the answer is no, you need to address this first. because lack of sleep is going to lead to hormonal imbalance. There's a huge connection between your cortisol and leptin levels and fat loss. So if you aren't getting good quality sleep, then it is going to be impossible for you to lose weight, especially in your midsection. If your hormones are out of whack, because you're not getting good sleep, you'll have a really hard time burning fat. So we want to resolve this issue first. Next question. Am I stressed or feeling overtrained or neglecting to care for myself? We all are stressed, so it's sometimes just a part of life. But if it's something that you can make a priority to focus on taking some of that stress out of your life, that may help you to continue making progress. And one of the biggest mistakes people make after they start this program is that they get to feeling really good, and then they start to add in extra stuff, add in extra workouts. They join an additional program at the gym. They start doubling up on workouts. And actually, if you're overtraining, you'll move backwards instead of forwards in your progress. So we really want to prioritize rest because our bodies are only built to handle so much stress. And if you're working out too much, you are putting too much stress on your adrenals. This could lead to adrenal fatigue. And if you have chronically elevated cortisol levels due to elevated stress on your body, it's going to be really hard to burn fat. So if you're training for a marathon and you're taking classes at the gym and you're doing the faster way to fat loss workouts, you just need to pull back the reins and you need to prioritize rest because that is a super important part of this program. Next question, am I approaching my period or do you have any other hormonal issues at play? I get it all the time. My clients say, okay, I'm feeling super bloated this week. I don't know what's happening. I feel like I'm going backwards. It's maybe just that you're approaching that time of the month and you will realize that that's all it was. Now, if it's not that, maybe you need to have some comprehensive blood work done just to get your hormones checked out, make sure nothing is totally out of whack, because you have to get to the root of the problem when it comes to hormonal imbalance before you can actually start to make progress again or start to make progress at all. So, there could be a hormonal issue at play and you just don't realize it. So a comprehensive blood work is not a bad idea every once in a while just to check that out. Next thing, am I properly hydrated? Have I been overindulging in foods higher in salt, sugar, alcohol? Okay, so we all have here lately, let's just be honest. It's just that time of the year. We've had all the holidays. And so now, if that's the case, you probably just need to dial it back in. You need to pull back the reins. You need to focus on keeping your nutrition super tight from here on out. You need to make sure you're not overindulging in alcohol too often. You need to make sure you're getting all of your water in each day, staying hydrated. And that may just be all it is, that you just need to dial it back in and refocus on whole food nutrition. Maybe you're going a little bit too crazy on leg day. Maybe you are making leg day last all week. Treat day turns into treat weekend. So just dial it back in and see if that is all you need to do before you adjust your macros. Now, the temptation is to adjust down. I get it. Everybody thinks, okay, I stopped making progress. I need to stop eating as much. This is a big mistake. In most cases, we want to adjust up your macros. So we have developed more lean muscle. If you're working out, you're developing more lean muscle. You have created a maximized metabolism. If you want to continue to build more lean muscle, you have to eat more protein. If you want to replenish your glycogen stores, you have to eat more carbs, not less. So do not drop down your macros. We're actually going to adjust up. All right, so there's a couple ways to do this, and I'll go through that with you. First of all, if you the first way, in the way that most people will want to adjust their macros, is just simply to adjust macros across the board up. So protein, carbs, and fats. We're going to bump up macros across the board to continue to burn fat and rev up your thyroid function, rev up your metabolism. You don't want to maintain a calorie or macro deficit for a long time. So we are not going to cut back. We're going to bump up. Most people start out with a 5% minimum increase of your macros across the board. Try this for 10 days to 2 weeks. See how it goes. Now, to do this, you will have to just simply calculate your new goals just like you would on a low macro day. You can't adjust this in MyFitnessPal. So multiply your grams of carbs, for instance, on a regular macro day by 0.05 to get your increase in macros, and just write those down to reference. Try this for a couple of weeks. You may have to increase your macros by up to 10 to 15% eventually. The more you need more fuel to continue revving up that metabolism. You need more carbs to continue to balance out your hormones and keep your thyroid at optimal function. Okay, so the second way to adjust your macros is to actually adjust up your protein and your carbs down a little bit. Now, most people don't get enough protein, so this may be a good option for you if you struggle to get enough protein in. It's also a good option for you if you just don't feel as well on regular macro days, if you feel like carbs bloat you a little bit more than they should. Some people are really sensitive to certain types of carbs, and you may need to consider going grain-free, eliminating those carbs that could potentially cause that bloating. So if this is you, if you are feeling like you feel better on low carb days, for instance, you may need to adjust your carbs down to 45% or even lower to 40%, and then adjust your protein up to 25% or 30%. Hopefully this makes sense. So you can do this in MyFitnessPal by actually adjusting those macro percentages, your macro goals. So we're going to need more protein to develop that lean calorie burning muscle. And the way we do this is we adjust up your protein goal. So if you feel like you're someone who could possibly be carb sensitive, if you feel like you need to try out going grain-free, this is an option for you. So those are the two ways to adjust macros if, in fact, you have answered all the questions I asked and you feel like it's time. If you have additional questions on how to adjust macros, if this wasn't clear to you, please let me know. Just ask questions in the comments below, and I will be sure to help you answer those when they come in. So MyFitnessPal gives you these generic recommendations for your macros. Macro adjustments are trial and error, and it doesn't happen overnight. So like I said, you have to be patient. You have to give it a couple of weeks. When you try something new, it's truly a process to figure out what works best for you, and not everyone is going to have the same needs. So you just kind of have to listen to your body, really practice intuitive eating, focus on those measurements and your pictures, and just make adjustments slowly. Try something new, give it a couple of weeks. If that doesn't work, we can try again with a different adjustment. So again, if you're killing it in the gym, you still have tons of energy, you're still burning fat, you're still seeing changes in your clothing, the way that fits, keep everything the same. If you are hitting a plateau, experiencing that, think you're there, we can adjust your macros, and this is how you're going to do that. Again, if it's not a question of if, it's just a question of when. And so now you know how to do it and when it's a good time to do that. Again, if you register as a returning client for the following the follow-up round, you will get a returning client guide that's going to go into detail on how to adjust macros as well. So it'll be there on paper for you, or you can print that out and kind of go over it again if you still need clarification. So, all right, so that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you have a great New Year's Eve. Go have fun, enjoy yourself, and we'll just get right back on track tomorrow. Let me know if you have questions about adjusting your macros. I am happy to help. I'm super excited for the last week of your program. I know you're going to do great. Just hit it hard this last week and give it everything you've got. I cannot wait to hear at the end of the week how you guys ended up doing. That's just the best part, is seeing those transformations, hearing those non-scale victories. I absolutely just live for it. So, all right, you guys, I appreciate you all so much. Thanks for taking the time to listen to this today, and let me know how I can help you. See you later.